My story dates back to some 15 years ago. Growing up was very challenging for me because I come from a typical village, some 1,000 kilometers away from the tarmac, so to say. My parents had no resources that could help me to pursue my university education. However, my mother was a hardworking person, trying to demonstrate what it means for someone to lack something while pursuing his dream. Back in 2008, I really couldn't understand that one day I could help value chain actors along the food value chain, especially fish value chain. By then, I had just been selected to pursue a Bachelor's of Science degree in fisheries. It is against this background that my mom started now trying to work even harder. She started a fish processing business. And I remember one day she went to the lake, bought 100 kgs of the sardines. We call them the Ingrucypris sardella. She tried to dry them on the open locks. However, within 30 minutes, huge clouds gathered in the sky. And this was followed by heavy rains. But at the same time, when they were drying, they were fraught with problems such as contamination by flies and dust. And all the products got degraded. My mom went on the drying rack. She salvaged the little she could and took them to the market. But she couldn't raise enough profit that she had expected. And I remember that year I went to the university to start my first year with half of my school fees and had no any necessity item. I didn't have a laptop. After the orientation, I thought I would become a fisherman because, you know, I was doing fishery science. So I said, Ma, am I going to be a fisherman? However, I realized that the course outline of the program was well tailored. It had very interesting science courses, the likes of physics, biology, biochemistry, mathematics, but at the same time, the biostatistics. One day, while appreciating the concept of the fish value chain, our Professor Wow Singini, prepared us a field visit to the lake so that we appreciate the concept of the value chain. After arriving at the landing site, I discovered that most value chain actors are women, and they were drying their products on the open locks. However, the challenges that I observed were that these products were being contaminated by dust and flies. This rang the bell in my mind about how my mom roast her 100 kgs of fish. So then I realized that this is a common problem among value chain actors, especially women. After going back to the college and focusing on my research project during my 4th year, I worked on the analysis of the current fish handling techniques with the aim of ensuring that I understand the quality of the product, but at the same time, its safety. And I remember, after graduating, I was offered a position in the Department of Fisheries at Research Division in Monkey Bay. A year later, I was given a scholarship by the CATIAF project under IDRC. The idea was to develop and design an improved processing technology that would cover up the limitation that come in because of the open sand drying method. Remember, most women who constitute the processing node have got a lot of challenges. So, in this regard, using the principles that I learned during my undergrad, that the principles of physics, the principles of microbiology, but at the same time biochemistry. I had to apply them in designing this technology. For this technology to work, I stood up on the shoulders of giants. And who are these giants? I have pleasure to mention here that one of the great giants comes from Kenya, Dr. Jemima. I have pleasure to mention that one of the giants is my mentor, Professor Levson Chiwaula. I have pleasure to mention that another giant is my director of research, Dr. Geoffrey Zentute Kanyerere, Dr. Maxon Ngojera, and Esau Gandifolo Tunga Chisare. What did we do? What did I facilitate? Because I played a leading role in designing this technology. I had to think that in order to fight issues to do with climate change, there is no need for me to design a technology that by the end of the day will have effects on the natural resources, especially the vegetation, because that would impinge the danger on the aquatic life. So we designed this solar tent dryer. In terms of its description, the solar tent dryer is a wooden frame, consisted of a wooden frame worn with a polyethylene plastic sheet, which is made up of 200 micron, but it is UV treated with the aim of screening off the UV light. It consists of inlet vents on the bottom and outlet vents on the upper part. The whole idea is to facilitate the convection current process because the technology is able to operate and follow the principles of the greenhouse process. What followed next was to do now the analysis in order to ascertain that the product that is being processed by this technology is of good quality. And in this regard, I spearheaded these laboratory analysis, like microbiological analysis, but at the same time, the physiochemical analysis. The whole idea was to determine the quality and the safety of the product. And it came to pass. It worked. Outscaling the technology to women who were facing a lot of challenges along the fish value chain, they had to smile. Because remember, I said they were facing a lot of challenges along the processing node. Spending their nights at the landing site, meaning that they don't have time for their families. And others, their families broke out because they were claiming that their husbands were being denied of conjugal rights. But with this technology, they just put the products inside and then close, off they go. Tomorrow they come, they do the packaging, and by the end of the day, take them to the formal markets, earning value by the end of the day. Why am I here today, my fellows? I leave you with what Albert Einstein said, a German theoretical physician who developed the theory of relativity. He said, and I quote, "Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in class." We need to have demand-driven innovations that are capable of solving the lives of value chain actors. Are you willing to move with me? Thank you very much.